What's up, church? This is Pastor Cade. Wanted to pose a question to you quickly today on this Wednesday. Are you just existing as a Christian, or are you a difference maker as a Christian? Because what I see in the church today so many times is we see people exist all over that just do the right things. They're good people. But if you went and asked him, what is the last thing that you did that the Holy Spirit told you to do outside of your home, outside of your element of comfort? What's the last thing that God told you to do that you went and did out of your intimacy with Christ? A lot of people can't answer that question. There's nothing wrong with the goodness of your home and the culture that's been created around you, but you've been redeemed with purpose, not only for what you've been handed in your family, but also what you've been handed around you in your community. And when you're at the grocery store and the things that happen there, you are to walk with God's purpose everywhere that you go. And so don't just exist as a Christian. Make sure that you understand what you've been justified from, which most people do as believers. Paul says in Romans chapter 5 that we've been declared righteous by faith, that we've been given a peace, and now we get to stand in grace and grace alone. None of that has anything to do with what we earned or what we deserved. God did all of that for us. But we have to understand that we have to now make a decision in that I'm not just going to exist in that faith. I'm going to make sure that God propels me in that faith. And when that decision happens in us, that's when we decide we're going to be a difference maker. And if you're going to be a difference maker, Romans chapter 5, verse 3, Paul goes on to say this, that we also rejoice in our afflictions because we know what affliction produces endurance. Endurance produces proven character, and proven character produces hope. You're going to be a difference maker. That means that you're going to leave the comfort of whatever God has done in you, the comfort of the cross and the resurrection and the justification that has happened. And you're telling him now that I want to walk out into the dark world and I want to make a difference. So that means affliction is going to come your way. That means endurance is going to have to be part of your appetite. That means that character is going to have to be proven genuine in you. And if we will endure those things, if we will suffer well as believers, man, it will produce the living hope. Not a place of arrival, not a destination that we get to, but it will produce the living hope, the person, Jesus Christ. It will produce that. And it says directly after that hope won't produce disappointment. And that is what we need, and that is what the world needs. That's what Afghanistan needs right now. People are trying to get on that airplane because they're so desperate to grab a hold of some hope that means something. So let me ask you today, are you just existing in your justification, or are you really walking out what God has given you to give to other people? Are you enduring the suffering that's coming into your world right now? Are you persevering through that? Are you allowing God to change your character? And if you are, there is a hope being produced in you that will not disappoint the lost people that are around you. And they are going to want to know what you have access to that they don't. Don't just exist. Thrive as a difference maker for the gospel. Choose to endure the afflictions and the things that are happening around you that you don't fully understand. But if you'll endure those things, God will produce something in you that we can only get from the kingdom of heaven. And that's a hope. That's the living hope, which is Jesus Christ himself. Be a light today, and make sure if you're suffering, make sure you suffer well through the gospel, because the world needs people that are producing hope right now as believers. Be encouraged today, church.